The roots of another aspect of the Roswell story, the recovered alien bodies, can also be traced back to Japan. On June 25, 1892, Shiro Ishii, the fourth son of a rich family of Japanese landowners, was born in the village of Kamo, which lies east of Tokyo. With his degree in medicine from Kyoto Imperial University, Ishii enlisted in the Japanese Imperial Guards and in 1922 received a posting to the Tokyo-based 1st Army Hospital. 2 years later, Ishii returned to the university to continue his postgraduate studies in the fields of bacteriology, serology, preventive medicine, and pathology. And in 1927, under the supervision of a bacteriology expert, Professor Ren Kimura, he obtained his doctorate for research on gram-positive twin bacteria. It's from Chapter 5 of Nick Redfern's excellent book, Body Snatchers in the Desert, The Horrible Truth at the Heart of the Roswell Story. If you want a completely different perspective on what happened there, that is a great place to start. Hello and welcome to another edition of The Stench of Truth. September 11th is fast approaching. Tomorrow is the day. And just by happenstance, I happened to look at a calendar yesterday, and I noticed that September 11th is called Patriot Day. Whoever came up with this designation is truly out of touch with reality, because September 11th should better be called Murder Day, or Death Day, or Loss of Liberty Day, or the Destruction of United States Day. Any of those things would be better than Patriot Day. September 11th needs to be remembered, and the continued work by people who look into it and try to solve the mysteries surrounding it is necessary and good. But for all of those people who dwell upon it solely as their only or driving force, one should perhaps take a step back and realize that there are other very important things that are going on today which need your attention, and which need the attention of as many people as possible. So for those who obsess about 9/11, do not take this as a message to tell you to stop entirely doing what you're doing and trying to bring the truth out about what really happened that day. But instead, take it as a caution that you should not become so embroiled in that one issue that you fail to see all of the evil that's going on around you, even as we speak right now. So that's as far as that goes. Obama gave a speech about health care reform to the joint session of Congress yesterday, and I would direct you to 55 Ella 2007K, Ella's video about Obama's speech, for a very good rundown on what was said there. But there are a couple things that I want to talk about regarding it, and one is the so-called support that Obama has put forward for a public option, in which he says that he is bound and determined to have. But what he has outlined in that speech as a public option is nothing more than the creation of another insurance provider. It's not a public option. It would be under the same kind of constraints that a regular insurance provider would be under, and therefore would be nothing different than another insurance company. And what choice does that bring to the table, other than, another purveyor of the same bloated policies that require a tremendous amounts of money to enforce, and still have something along the line of 30% refusal rate for repayment or reimbursement? So I don't see that as anything in the way of a real option in the grand scheme of things. And even by the time this is all said and done, if something is passed, chances are good that any public option, even an anemic new insurance company so-called public option, will be probably removed from the final package. And in regards to the "you lie" outburst, now, there's been a lot of talk about this and about the civility or lack thereof by the member of Congress that shouted this out during the course of his speech. But one thing that I found that is not being said in all of this is whether or not it's true. Was President Obama lying when he said that? Well, I looked at the House bill that was passed, and as far as I can see, there is nothing in there that would prevent illegal aliens from being covered under that insurance proposal. And in that sense, the congressman was correct in saying that Obama is lying. I cannot see anything in there that says that illegal immigrants would not be able to get coverage under that plan. There is a provision in there which says that those who are in the country illegally would not be able to get subsidies to help them pay for coverage that would be available to legal people in this country and regular citizens. I did see that in there, and so yes, subsidies would be denied to them, but there's, as I said, I didn't see anything myself. Perhaps I missed it. I'm not infallible. But I didn't see anything in there that forbids illegal immigrants from obtaining coverage under the House plan that was passed. So in my view, why aren't they talking about the reality of what it is that was said? I see nothing in all the comments talking about it that say whether or not what he said was an accurate statement. In my view, Obama was lying, and illegal immigrants would be able to get coverage under this plan that was passed by the House. Now, as to any final version, that's another matter altogether. So, another little twist and turn, in the grand scheme of this stupid, ridiculous left-right show, which is nothing but a shadow play put on for the amusement of the powers that be, to see the reaction of the ants marching out in the various cities and towns throughout this country. And in regards to this, final thoughts on September 11th and the fact that this was used as a means to go to war with Iraq and Afghanistan, and now what we're faced with in Afghanistan is a much more brutal and horrible war going on there, and which has deteriorated rather than improved over the 8 years that we've been there. And I would say that because of the total co-opting of the entire anti-war movement and their total silence and capitulation to Obama, because he is supposedly a leftist, a Democrat, etc., 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 which is all bullshit, that it's unfortunate, but it seems as though the climate of war, terror, and death will continue. And Afghanistan will continue to deteriorate even until the point where more troops go in and our commitment remains long and practically endless. And this is another part of the legacy of September 11th that should not be forgotten. Not just the people that died on that day, not just the cover-up, not just the lies and the deceit that surround the event itself, but the legacy that it brought. The Patriot Act, the thousands of war dead, the millions of people that have been killed and or injured or rendered homeless or refugeed because of the fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, and now in Pakistan too. All of these things should be considered as well. So that's what I have to say for you today. Thank you. Good night.